Well, like I'm writing down here, and I've been out there for 5 years, and kind of went over all the different mines that are out there from north to south to see what their results, their findings, their reports and stuff. And basically, you've got a mine in the north that's found literally over millions of ounces of gold. I forget what that is. It's like 3 million ounces of gold.
Mesquite mine?
Yeah. Mesquite mine. They were finding like 300,000 ounces. I think their biggest year was 900,000 ounces or something, 3,500 ounces a day. And down to the American Girl, or I'll just call them mines in the south.
The Chocolate Mountains? Or the...
Yeah. Well, actually, the Mesquite mine was on the north end of the Cargos, Blacks Mountain. That's very south end of the Chocolates Mountain. They were actually out of the Chocolates.
So it's the same range, pretty
Same
much.
range, yeah. That whole thing is the gold district down there. The mines in the south, they were pulling 400,000 ounces plus. Most of it is lode claims from 50 feet down to 250 feet depth. And what intrigued me out there was the fact that a lot of that stuff was left in the tailings that was just overburdened, that they didn't actually process. So there's a lot of tailings out there from all the mines, mainly because at the time gold was, when they were starting out, gold was 50, 70, 80, 100, up to $300 an ounce, depending on it. It wasn't worth it for them to run those tailings for what it was costing them to do it. So they were looking for the bigger, richer things down below. Another thing I thought of too is that if there's gold in those tailings, where'd that tailings come from? That was all the stuff that was from the surface on down. So one thing I started doing was checking the surface, looking for nuggets and free gold.
Free gold would be
placer type, just loose in the sand and stuff, and that not necessarily in the rock and the matrix or anything on it. Well, we started finding gold on the surface, and I started tracking the.
Is that placer or low?
Placer. Pretty much, I was doing placer mining with dry washing and dry panning or whatever, or metal detecting. So we actually found nuggets on the surface, or a few inches down, and then I would check we would dry wash maybe a foot or two down into the banks and stuff, and we were finding fine gold, lots of it pretty much on there, which was giving us an indication that the gold not only was deposited down low, it went all the way to the surface. There's other areas down. Go ahead.
That could have been like a runoff from other areas, or
no. Down there you don't have much runoff down there. There's some alluvial gold that's down there. If you look at the mountain range, when you go to the west end of the mountain, some of the stuff's alluvial, but that is probably from years and years and years. It's not really runoff gold that went down. Although it's placer, it started out somewhere uphill. It's not moved in millions of years, mainly because you don't have the water flow. People think that gold will go because there's a flash flood. It won't. It takes hundreds of thousands of years for gold to move. All the flash flood will do is uncover.
So in your opinion, if you're finding stuff 2 foot down,
there's stuff deeper too, probably.
Cool.
And we know there's deeper because that's where all the mines are out there. Everybody put their mines out there. Everything out there was deep. All your shafts and stuff were going down, several hundred feet or whatever.
How many of those mines you've run across that were done pre-World War II that were shut down because of the gold not being a critical metal?
I don't think the war really had much to do with it. I think
out here.
Yeah, out here. I think most of your mines down there started in the late 1800s and through the early 1900s. There was a gold rush down there, like up until like 1918, 1920, something right inside there, and then they moved on because there wasn't
easy gold.
Easy gold was gone basically. Then in the 30s, the companies started looking at it, and the mining companies came back in there, and that's where you have your towns like late 1800s, early 1900s. You had Tumco and Obregon, and those mines were very, very active mines in the early 1900s, and then around 30 to 40 they just were mismanaged, and you didn't have the equipment, and it was far from town and stuff. So they thought, well, we're not making a lot of money. Let's get bigger